Good morning. It is 6:47 a.m. on Tuesday, November 7th, 2017. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So yesterday I mentioned my voice being a wreck in the morning. Hot tea, a little Advil. Took care of that, no problem. And I actually felt pretty good yesterday, although today I feel like I may be coming down with something. I went to bed early last night and suffered the penalty of that. When you have a dog, often what happens is if you go to bed early, you get up early. I did manage to go back to bed and get another hour of sleep. Although I'm still feeling a little woozy. It's also kind of just that time of year. Lots of air pressure changes, dust, heating systems turning on for the first time, all of that good stuff that leads to a little bit of, like congestion issues. Um, yeah, I'm doing okay, but I'm just moving slow this morning. Need to get up, get moving, do my thing. So I sent a thank you email to all my players from the Extra Life game yesterday morning, and several of them replied back saying very nice things that made me happy. It seems like everyone had a good time. Everyone had fun, or at the very least, if anyone didn't have fun, they haven't told me. I hope that's not the case. I'll probably check in specifically with the people who I hadn't heard from directly, but I think everybody did. It seemed like they did during the game. Oh boy. Oh. Oh. Yeah, so yesterday I definitely cut myself some slack. Just kind of came home, made some catfish for dinner. It was very, very good. Made up for the fact that part of the Blue Apron meal was supposed to be lentils, and I was cooking them and I did not use enough water and they burned. Boo. It wasn't, too much of a, disaster or anything, but they were not good. They smelt like burnt lentils. So I just threw those away, and I had some leftover carrots from a previous meal. But the catfish, oh, so good. And it was interesting too, just because that particular, um, like, the recipe had some fancier bits for the other part, but the catfish part itself was literally just catfish fillet, dip in flour, cook with butter. Oh, it was really good, you guys. I liked it. But yeah, so got home, made that. I also played a little bit more Horizon Zero Dawn. I also watched a YouTube video from a guy who goes, his channel is Movie Bob, where it was a really that bad video, and it's a long deep dive talking about issues with the movie Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. And ordinarily, the video series of the type, like everything wrong with blank, cinema sins, that sort of thing. I don't generally enjoy that genre of YouTube. I prefer to like things rather than dislike things, and honestly, a lot of those videos, the ones that I have watched, I feel frequently a lot of the stuff in there is really not fair and not, I wouldn't call them anything wrong with it. Like, they'll call things a plot hole just because, oh, they didn't answer that specific question that didn't really have anything to do with the main story. That's not a plot hole. But anyway, but Batman vs. Superman has been an interestingly ongoing debate. because there's a lot of people online who have really wrapped up a lot of personal feelings into trying to defend that movie and say that it is great. And so he finally decided to do this, basically kind of as a response to the fact that he didn't like the movie, but every time he says so, he has people piling on to try to say like, "Oh, you just didn't get it" or something like that. And so he's like, "Well, no, look, I'm going to do a thoughtful, careful, in-depth analysis of this movie and why I don't think it's good." And he's putting a lot of thought and effort into it, and I thought that was interesting, so I watched it. And yeah, it's part one. There's going to be another part two that's not out yet, and he certainly put a lot of thought and work into it. But I don't know if I'm going to watch part two, just because I kind of feel like I already agree with him. I didn't really like that movie very much. I thought it just had some, while it had some interesting elements, I felt like it was the wrong approach right from the beginning, and it's going to be hard to make a good movie out of the wrong approach generally. It's kind of like if you're painting a room, and you pick a bad color. No matter how expertly you apply the paint, it's not going to look good because it's a bad color. That's kind of how I felt about that movie. And then on top of that, there's a lot of kind of miscellaneous stuff that's not good. But I don't know. I didn't mean to talk today about not liking Batman versus Superman. That was just watching that video as part of what I did yesterday. That's all. So, yeah, I need to go ahead and get ready for work, and I will talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.